we leaving your teen years and going into college. What was college like for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, was like you said you was doing your thing. What was doing your thing in college like for you, bro?
So I actually semi went to college, and now you gonna
Okay.
get me to be vulnerable up here.
Okay.
All right, so we talking about my truth and my real walk here. So I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I went to and I'll never publicly say this. This is stuff that having those accountability partners are good for in your
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah.
These are conversations that I will have with my accountability partner. But I'm just gonna say this since you asked me the question directly about college. So I went to Southern New Hampshire University online,
Okay.
and I never went to like an actual campus.
Got you.
But I was always multitasking, had a lot of things that I was doing at one time, outside of school that made school an afterthought for me.
Okay.
So I don't even know if I'm safe to say this publicly, but I'm gonna say it, trust the
Okay.
Lord. So I remember ended up being lazy and this is really like deep too, bro. Like I
Okay.
remember being lazy and there was an opportunity that came up for somebody to do my work for me.
Oh wow.
And I was like, it was like a full hustle, like a full hustle. Like dudes was doing everybody homework. And it got to the point where like you pay him, he do your assignment for you, and this dude was smart. Like he would get you a really good grade, and you had to tell
Mm.
him to miss a couple of answers on purpose.
Oh
Like
wow.
it was
Wow.
like that. He would write full papers for you, everything. Um, and so it just became one of those things where I started off like I'm only gonna do it one time. Then I paid him to do it. And then he did it. I was like, wow, this is easy. Like I had all I could I got extra time now, you
Wow.
know. So
Yeah.
I ended up paying him and he continued to do my work for me for a while. I ended up like making honor roll and everything. And then that's when I started to really dive deep into my faith and
Mm.
my relationship with God. And the enemy will always test you. Like I feel like God will always allow the enemy to test you when he feels you're ready for the test.
Mm.
I think
Wow.
that's important
Yeah.
because God is always in control. I don't want people to misunderstand that. So when
Yeah.
the enemy attacks you, it's only because God allows him to.
Mm.
That's what I want to point out there. So in my time that I was doing all of this, I was protected, believe it or not, as I was learning and being discipled in my walk.
Yeah.
So it was that one sneaky sin, right?
Yeah.
That you know is wrong and you treating sin like a pet. You
Mm.
know it's wrong and you're not trying to address it.
Yeah.
And you're focused on everything else, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
That's my little secret.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, that is what God is looking at the most.
Mm.
When he's
Wow.
looking at your life and he's looking at your heart, he's
Yeah.
judging the things that you keep in secret.
Mm.
That is a big, big piece. Because you see, one thing about the things you keep in secret, you can hide it from the world, but you can't hide it from God.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
keep that little thing in my little locker in secret and nobody know about it and look like the best Christian ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
behind closed doors, guess who's there? God is
Yeah.
right there next to you. He see what you do in secret.
Wow.
And so it got to a place where I remember this. I was in church and there was a pastor that was speaking at the church and the sermon was literally about things that's being done in the dark. God is going to bring it to the light.
Mm.
The
Wow.
sermon was literally about God is going to expose some things in your life that you've been trying to hide and keep under the rug.
Wow.
And I knew that message was for me. It was a warning.
Mm.
It was a warning because at that point in my life, I felt like I was doing everything to please God possible. And I
Mm.
felt like I was at that place where I ain't doing no dirt. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
Mm.
And in that moment, I knew I needed to stop. I was
Mm.
like, it was conviction. I knew I needed to stop. And
Yeah.
I told myself one more time, that's it.
Wow.
One more time. That's all I'm gonna do. One more, just this last assignment. And then
Yeah.
I'm done. You know, we think we can quit sin when we want to,
Yeah.
but we can't. It
We
takes the
can't.
power of the Holy Spirit to
Yeah, it
help
does.
us because when we struggling with that sin.
Yeah.
And so I was struggling with that because it becomes so comfortable. When you have a pet and you take care of it, it becomes family. So that
Mm.
sin became like family to me because it was a way of living. It was a part of my lifestyle now. If I
Yeah.
do that, I got more time to chill, do whatever else I want to do,
Yeah.
and still get the things I want. Still cheat my way with through
Yeah.
college and through school.
Yeah.
So here go the final part of it. So after that sermon, I was kind of like, I ain't. I'm gonna do one more assignment like that. That's it. Well, I get this notification, and it's like you gotta have this conversation with the board and the dean. And I was like, what the kind of timing is this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Challenging your faith, though.
Wow.
Are you gonna stand on business when it's against your best interest? When it looks like you can get away with it?
Mm.
So I'm sitting there, and I got this board meeting, and it's like a kind of like a Zoom conversation with the other people that's part of the school. It's like 10 of them up there on this meeting, and
Wow.
they're telling me like, "Hey, we've noticed that a couple of your assignments, it looks like you logged in from the portal from like a different IP address in a different state, and we just wanted to ask you, if you can explain how you submitted some of these assignments from this location and then logged in that location. Because what
Wow.
happened was eventually the dude was doing my homework so much, he was like, bro, why don't you just give me your login? And I'll just do your work for you. You just send me the bread.
Wow.
So I
So
didn't even
so
have to
like
log in no more.
so like yeah, no, no, yeah. So in essence, like you kind of got not sloppy, well, you did.
I did. I
You
got
kind of got
sloppy with it.
sloppy
Because at
and,
first I was
get
still at least
lax.
uploading it,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
it got to the point where he started uploading it for me.
Wow.
Because when I was uploading it, they want to they thought it was me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It was coming from my IP address.
yeah.
And he would just email me the assignment, but I was doing the one uploading. But
Wow.
when I got lazy and he was like, yo, why don't you just let me just log in and do your work for you? Because it would be better for him because I was inconveniencing him because I would be like, yo, this assignment due by midnight, bro. I know it's 10 o'clock, but I need you to do it.
Wow.
I was hitting him with late, like
Yeah,
short notice to say, I
yeah,
need you to do this, drop everything and do this assignment for me right now type stuff. And so it was easier for him if he could plan my assignments by just knowing what they were.
yeah.
Um,
Man, that's crazy to really think about it from a standpoint, man. It's like what you said was true. It's like sooner or later your stuff is gonna get found out. So you
yeah.
might as well kind of confess about it. But I
Hmm.
understand, I can understand the person that was kind of in your position is like, I'm nervous, I'm scared. Like, I don't know, guy. What would you say to somebody that's like that, man? That's listening to this is like, yo, King, I hear you, bro. But if I tell my lady, if I tell my mom, if I tell a
It's
family, is I may be it may be over for me. What would you say to a person like that, bro?
who are you more interested in pleasing, people or God?
Mm,
Because I can look wonderful and innocent, but we all got dirt.
yeah, yeah,
And so
facts.
there's some things about your parents or people that you hold to a high level of respect that got dirt that they ain't never told you.
Yeah,
So nobody is innocent here.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? We all just got either similar or different type of dirt, but
yeah,
everyone has something that they haven't told somebody.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
keeping it 1,000.
yeah, yeah. That's real. That's
I
real.
remember when I was talking to C4 Katona on my podcast, and we had an interview. And during the interview, he had said something that stood out to me, and he was like how crazy would it be if everything that we've ever done in secret was put on full display? for
Mm.
the entire world to see.
Yeah.
Because you see, there's some things that you can put out there. It's like, man, it's out there now. I don't care.
Yeah.
But there's some things that you like, you know what? This
Yeah.
one gonna go with me to the grave.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those
And
things that we think is gonna go with us to the grave, what would it be like if everyone knew?